Alrighty. So it's Tuesday morning now, and it turns out that I haven't been recording anything in our classroom for about a week. So I'm going to redo what I did yesterday in class. And Zoom is a little bit clunkier than what we experienced in class. So I will have to do a lot of switching from screen to screen as we look at the presentation as I create it. Okay. Yeah, and then just ignore the mess that is my house back there. Lots of projects in process. Okay, let's start out with a screen share. And I'm going to go here and go share. And I'm going to click over to here. Ah, yes, that's where I want to be. Okay, and then I'm going to go to ePortfolio. Okay, so I'm on the ePortfolio top page here. And I'm going to create a reflection first. And I deleted a lot of the stuff that we did yesterday. But to create a reflection, you just put something in this box. So I am going to my sample student artist statement, and I am copying the text of that. Then I'm heading back over to this box, which you should be able to see, I hope. And then I'm going to go paste. And then I'm going to go add to ePortfolio. And when you use the box, there we go, on the home page here on ePortfolio instead of my items, you don't create a title. It just uses that first line. So to make it more memorable, I'm going to go edit. I'm going to take that line and just type artist statement right over it. And then I'm going to go save. Save and close. I could have gone save and close, I guess, but I wasn't sure what was going to happen when I hit the close button. Sometimes when you're working in the presentation, if you hit the close button, it kicks you out of the presentation. But here's my artist statement. If I go back to ePortfolio, it is now going to appear here at the top of the list labeled as artist statement. Now I'm going to create an artifact. And again, a reflection is indicated by this little green bubble, a presentation by this thing that looks like a presentation board. And to create an artifact, you use the Add Files button. And again, I'm not sure you're going to see this, but I've got my ePortfolio window open, and I am just going to drag a file called Sample Student Reflective Writing in there and click Add to ePortfolio. Again, exactly what you see when I'm on Zoom, I think is a little bit dubious. But when I create an artifact, it uses the document title as I have it saved on my computer. So that's easy to identify. And again, we get this little document icon that indicates an artifact. Okay, so now I'm ready to start a new presentation. And I go, new presentation. Okay. And first thing I have to do is name it. It's got the little asterisk here by name. This is required field. I'm going to call it poetry video project. And this is how it will show up in ePortfolio or my items when I go back there. So now I go save. And okay, here's the clunky part about Zoom. I'm going to click on view presentation. It's going to open in a new window, and that means I need to stop my screen share, go back to screen share, click on that window, and go share. Okay, so now you're looking at this mess here. Okay, make it bigger. This is what it looks like. Here's the banner title. This is where the banner description goes on the right. This is a page title. This is my navigation pane. This is a secondary content area. This is my main content area. Okay, I'm going to close that. Okay, yep, and everything went away. Screen sharing has stopped as the shared window is closed. Okay. And now I go back to screen share, get my ePortfolio presentation pulled back up. All right. So here's where I'm at. Again, that thing was ugly. Okay. Black and white and gray, not a really pretty theme. So I'm going to change themes. And I'm just going to do a lot of work here and then show you what I've created, yesterday. And typically, as I work, I look at view presentation all the time to see what I've done. Today, I'm just going to pop down here. I'm going to pick something moderately prettier than what I had. I'm pretty sure Orchid is the one we had yesterday. I'm going to go select, then I'm going to go set theme. And now up here at the top, it shows Orchid as my current theme. It's got this green and blue background in the banner. It's got a black text area. So that's good. Now I'm going to add my banner text. And again, when I do this, the banner title appears on the left. I'm going to put in poetry, video, project. And then the banner description appears at the top right. And I'm going to put in my name, as you should put in your name. And then I'm going to put our course and section number English 2030, section 004. Save. When it clicks, I know I'm done. Then I'm going to go, we're ready to start adding some content. So I go to the content section. Okay. And one of the first things I want to do, this is the layout as it appears in my presentation. Here's my navigation panel. Here's my main content area. Here's the secondary content area I showed you earlier. I'm going to change this around. First thing I'm going to do is change my page layout. This is where I'm at now. Navigation, secondary, primary content. I'm going to change it to one content area. That gets rid of that secondary content area. Then, see, there's no second box down here. Then I'm going to change my navigation. Right now it's on the side. I'm going to move it to the top. And what that does is it puts my navigation here, and it makes this main content area larger. So I'm going to go save. Okay. And again, my template shows these changes. This is now my navigation panel. This is now my content area. This is what would show up on my navigation panel. This is what shows up as my page title. I'm going to go to page properties, and I'm going to change the page title to poetry, video, project again. And if I go save, notice that this changes. This has not changed, but it should have. It doesn't really matter though, because I'm going to go back there and I am going to go hide, hide. And what that does is it makes it so that those will not show up in my presentation. Not sure why that still says new page, but it does. Maybe as I move along here, that would change. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go add component. We're ready to start adding stuff. Now I saved my reflective right or the artist statement as a reflection. So I'm going to click reflection, reflection. There we go. I'm going to scroll down to this box and click add. And here's my artist statement. Okay, again, this might be a good time to stop and take a look at what we've done so far. I'm going to go view presentation, stop screen share, re-screen share to this, share again. I'm going to make that bigger for you. Okay, so I have my banner title, my banner description, my change theme. My navigation panel is hidden. as is a page title that would appear here. But there's my artist statement. Everything's looking nice, looking good. My text shows up cleanly on my theme banner. Different themes have different font sizes. You might have to adjust your theme. It's a lot easier than adjusting the font size and color within the theme, but you can do that. Okay. So once again, I'm going to stop screen share. I'm going to go back to that, close it. I'm going to go back to, where's it at? Here. Okay, now back to Zoom and go screen share again. Edit presentation, share. All right, now we're back at our presentation layout page. I'm gonna go. I should have done something else for. Actually, I'm in the same window, and I'm pretty sure that means that when I click here, you can still see what I'm doing. God, I hope so. Okay. Now, yesterday in class, when I went to the video, the share button was over here and it wasn't labeled share. It was just a little window. But I'm at home today where it's how I'm used to seeing it. So I click on the share button and I go embed and I go copy. Then I go back to my presentation. I go add component. I'm going to click on text area. I have to name this. I'm going to name it video. And when you are in a text area, that area name does not show up. So it probably kind of goes without saying, but I'm going to label it as video. And then to embed my video so it plays in my presentation, I use the plus button. I use the insert stuff option, and then I get enter embed code. And I'm just going to paste that embed code in there and go next. Then I get a preview. I go insert and then save and close. And here's my embedded video. Okay. I'm not quite done with the video yet. I want to add a component and text area. And I'm going to name this text area video link. And this time I'm going to go back to my video. I'm going to close that embed box. I'm going to copy the URL. I'm going to go back to here again, and then I'm going to go paste, save, and close. So now I've got my embedded video, and I have a link to the YouTube version of the video in case for some reason the embed fails. Okay. So far, so good. All right. Once again, I'm going to take a second and go stop screen share. I got to come back here, go view presentation, open my presentation, go back to Zoom again, go screen share, presentation, share. All right. So here's what we've got so far. Everything's the same to here. Then I've got my embedded video, which I can just click and play, right? There it is. And then I've got the link to it underneath it. And this is that little bit of text I put into the text box before I put this here. I mean, you'd like to think that's self-explanatory, but and just in case. All right. So I am now going to close this. Okay. Go screen share, go back to edit presentation and share. And here we are back where we were again. Okay. Coffee. All right. Add component. Now I am going to upload my reflective writing. And again, I created an artifact of that reflective writing. So I'm going to click artifact. Sample student reflective writing is right there at the top. These are in the order that they were created. I'm going to click that and go add. Okay. Now, when I do this as an artifact, I just get the little artifact icon in my presentation. I do not get the full text. I really think it's better to do full text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Add Component again and go Text Area. I'm going to zoom over to my sample student reflective writing. I'm going to copy that text. I'm going to come back here again, and I'm going to label this area name as reflection writing. But again, that does not show up. So I'm going to go here, reflective writing. Okay, and that really should have been reflective. Doesn't really matter. I add a line, I paste in my text, and I go save and close. Okay, so I've now got my presentation complete. Actually, this is redundant. I would probably remove this. I mean, I eventually will, but I want to do view presentation first. So I'm going to open that window. I'm going to stop screen share. I'm going to go to screen share, reopen it, make it big for us. Okay, so here's what we've got. And this is almost final. We have our banner with video poetry video project, the assignment name up there, my name, section number, should be your name, section number, course and section, artist statement, video link. This is the artifact version of the reflective writing. And if I click on these, I download that, right? It's still viewable, but that downloads for the person. And then here it is when I put it in a text box. Again, this is where I identified it. This is my cut and pasted text. And it's fairly long, but it's not that long, right? Again, this is handy if you're doing something where you have multiple essays on a page and you don't want the page to just scroll and scroll and scroll. There it is, right? But this is it. Now, when I go back to my presentation, I'm actually going to remove this because this is the same thing as this. I don't want to, or you never want to confuse your audience, right? I don't want them to think that these are two different things. So I'm going to get rid of my presentation, go back to screen share for this. There we go. And I'm going to get rid of this just by clicking this X over here and then the yes button. And now that's gone, and I have the text version as the only thing there. Okay, so now I'm done. So I'm going to go close. Wait a second. Here it is, my poetry video project with the presentation icon. Now, if I ever want to reopen this, what I do is I go here and edit. And now I can continue. I'm right back where I was before, but I'm on the properties page instead of the content layout page. It looks a little bit different than the last time we saw it, but here it is the way the last time we saw it, right? Okay, now I'm going to go close again. You'll notice it's kicked us out of our class. So to show you how to put this in Dropbox, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go back to our class. And to do this, I have to go view as banner student. Otherwise, it's not going to let me put anything in Dropbox. I can't do that as an instructor. I'm going to go assessments, Dropbox. I'm going to go down to the ePortfolio presentation where I already have two files. I did these yesterday while I was dinking around. But just as regular, you would go add a file. Only instead of my computer or Google Drive, you're going to pick ePortfolio this time. And you have to scroll down a ways until you find what you're after. There's the one we did yesterday. That one's already in there. And yeah, sometimes there can be an awful lot of, I've got 8 pages of stuff. So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do instead is I am going to repick the one that we did yesterday. You click the little circle next to it and you go select item. It takes it a minute to upload, sometimes more than a minute, but it never takes that long. Okay. And now it says that there's my file name. It shows up as a D2L resource file. I go submit. There's the file that I put in. And notice this is how I saved it yesterday, remember? Today it said just video project, right? But now I click done as usual, as you always do. And now if I go down here, it says I've got 3 submissions and 3 files. And it's always good to check your work. So I can click on that. And I see that I've got the one I did yesterday. I did something when I was just dinking around. And I did the one I did today. Actually, I guess that's reverse order because the date says this is the one I just did. This was yesterday. All right. So I am going to stop viewing as a banner student. All right. And it kicks me back out to our homepage. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the entire process. I hope, of course, that you got it yesterday and that you were able to follow along and complete a lot. If not, I'm obviously going to post this to YouTube and share it in an email. So, uh, good going with your presentations. Again, these are technically due May 1st at 2:30, but that Dropbox will not close until 11:59 that night. I encourage you, however, to finish it as soon as possible. Pop it in the Dropbox. Make sure you've got the right thing in there, and then your obligations for class are done. Enjoy your summer.